Vanguard. Oh, it's a fucking protest.
What is this? Bro, how many people are in there?
Dude, I'm about to honestly fucking move. I don't want these fuckers touching my car.
Dang, these guys are not playing around, bro. They hopped out of the U-Hauls. That's crazy.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ruach HaKodash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect, starting with the 144,000 of prophets, the governing body, and the rest of the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, staying in the Holy Spirit, and keeping the faith of Yahweh Shai day in and day out. So just real quick, briefly wanted to touch on this video that you just saw, and more so this little, I guess, poster card or pamphlet, whatever you want to call it, that I guess the person who took the video, they got from one of those guys. As you see on the top, it says Reclaim America. Now this was a protest that I believe happened in Nashville on Saturday, where you had over 100 men, protests in downtown Nashville. And, some people are saying, this was a false FLAG, set up by the feds, the FBI. These people are an actual, they're paid federal employees. And, other people are saying that these are Edomite supremacists. But nonetheless, even if this is something that was set up by the government, just to, push that vibration out there, you still do have individuals, especially, now so more than ever here in America. You have a lot of individuals that have this type of mindset. All right. A lot of Edomites have this mindset right now that they need to reclaim and reestablish their dominance as being the top, ethnic, top nation here in America. All right, because America isn't a particular nation of people. Right, it's you have the particular nation that is on top, which are the Edomites, but America, known in the scriptures as Babylon the Great, which Babylon or Babal means confusion. It is a nation of mixed ethnicities, right? Mixed cultures and backgrounds. And what a lot of these Edomites are seeing and believing, all right, a lot of these, patriotic, nationalist Edomites, they're seeing that their culture, their tradition, right, which they believe is supposed to be the foundation, the pillars of America, is being replaced, okay, and it's being replaced through immigration, right? It's being replaced because of the government is stripping away their supremacists, their supremacy, and their catering to diversity in other minority nations of people. So things like this are popping up more and more throughout Babylon the Great, and especially, like I said, because you have this whole migration or immigration situation going on. So I'm gonna read some of this. It says, Patriot Front is a fraternity activist organization dedicated to uphold the traditions, defend the people, and transform the public space of the nation. Through changing the minds, bodies, and lives of Americans, we hope to create lasting effects on the course of the country. Patriot Front is active nationwide and committed to an ambitious array of efforts. It says, the organization believes in the ethnic interests of Americans as those descendants from the original European settlers of this land, the representative and traditional models of American government, and the vital need for men of the nation to take an active role in organizing patriotic politics beyond the electoral process. Okay, so then it gives you the bulletin points of their, their cause and what they want to do. But all in all, you had this happen, and like I said, in a major city, downtown Nashville, over the weekend, and this is just a sentiment, right, that is being spread across America. As the scripture says, that in the times to come, you were going to have, as Yahweh Shai mentions, nation against nation, right? Let's pull it up. Matthew chapter 23, Salakia 24, verse 7. Let's start at 6. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Okay? So then we're hearing about these things, right? We're hearing about World War III. We're hearing about various different war fronts, happening all throughout the world. Okay? And you also have wars that are rising within countries, right? Race wars, social wars, class wars, right? Verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom." All right. So when you have a nation of people, that's an actual ethnic, right? Ethnicity. Let's go into it. Ethnos, right? It says a race, that is a tribe, and everybody comes from a tribe, right? A tribe meaning, a particular person, right? Which that person ended up, having children, and their children had children, and then they established in, a land, and then that land became, a nation, right? So it all goes back to, when you talk about a nation of people, it really all goes back to a individual person, or a tribe of a person. Okay, so when you have nation shall rise against nation, this is speaking about a race, right? And this is why we speak about that there's going to be race wars. All right. Once again, the word is ethnos, which means race, as of the same habit. So for a nation or a race shall rise against a race, and a kingdom against a kingdom. Now, a kingdom versus a kingdom is speaking about actual countries, right? Or in this case, you have certain countries that are allied with other countries. So that is where you have a kingdom. Let's say, for instance, Russia going against NATO, all right, or the EU. Those are two separate kingdoms. Although the people that are involved in the government are of the same race, it's a different kingdom. Or let's say you have China against America. Although those are two separate races of people, they're not battling each other based off of a racial tension, right? They're battling each other based off of a kingdom, a position, on a kingdom level, right? On a geo-economic front. But in America, as we are seeing things like this, which you have their, basically putting their agenda, or their cause is to do what? Is basically what? In the ethnic interest of Americans as those descendant from the original European settlers of this land. So they're saying that they're here to defend and reclaim their right to have control in America and have this land, because it was given to them by the original European settlers. You see? So, as Yahweh Shai said, you're going to have, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. All right, and we're seeing all of these things take place. Right, we're seeing famines, okay, droughts, inflation of pricing, which is scarcity of food. Pestilences are happening all over. You got certain diseases, right, and then you also got pestilences of actual pests. I believe here in the East Coast they're talking about there's going to be a influx of a particular type of a spider that's like the size of your hand, although they claim that it's not poisonous to humans, but it basically is coming from I think they said Asia, right? And it's already in certain south east countries, states rather, like Georgia or Alabama. But they're talking about it's supposed to be making its way up the northeast, over this next couple of months, right? You had the whole lantern flies, spotted lantern flies that has now become more prevalent here in the East Coast. And you had the I've seen videos couple months back about some locust that was overtaking a certain town in Utah, if I'm not mistaken, if it was Utah. But those are just some small examples of pestilences that are taking place, right? And of course, we have these earthquakes that are becoming more and more prevalent. Storms. They're talking about in this hurricane season. You just had a Category 5 hurricane. I believe it was called Beryl. That was the first Category 5 in history to happen in a month of June, right? And the actual heightened times of the hurricane season is in August, September, and October. But you already have a Hurricane 5 that already took place in June, right? They also speaking about how this hurricane season may be so devastating that they would have to actually increase the categories to a Category 6 because of how strong they are quote unquote predicting these hurricanes to be. So everything that we're reading that Yahweh Shah said was going to take place before his return, right? These will be signs, as it says in verse 3. Tell us when these things shall be and what should be the sign of thy coming in the end of the world. Well, these are signs, right? And you have a lot of, especially Edomites, that are overtly, right, being put in the, showcasing the mindset that they feel as though that they need to physically take up arms and physically, go into action to reclaim and reestablish their dominance here in Babylon the Great. And it's ultimately because what they're seeing that this place is falling, right? They're seeing Babylon morally, right? They're seeing that the government is untrustworthy. They're ultimately seeing the decadence of this place throughout every aspect of it, from its dominance in the world, right? Other countries looking at this place for crying out loud. You had the presidential election that happened a couple weeks ago, and that was a complete shit show, right? It was complete comedy, and this is supposed to be the debate between the highest office right here in America, and yet people are looking at these two individuals as being complete buffoons, man. One more than the other, which is Biden more than Trump. But Trump, he's a buffoon as well. But nonetheless, what he gives is these Edomites that that mindset that they are still the dominant force, right? That they are still the top nation of people, the top race on the earth. And that is what that whole MAGA, mindset is all about. And they are feeling empowered to showcase that. All right. And who do you think they're going to do that against the most? All right. You Israelites. All right. Because guess what? Even the Lord himself, he is a tribalist, right? Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, is a nationalist. But see, the Lord's not coming back to save blacks, right? He's not coming back to save Hispanics. He's not coming back to save Native Americans. He's coming back to save Israelites. And that is why it's important to know who you are, to wake up, as it says in the book of Deuteronomy, not Deuteronomy, the book of Baruch. Where is it? Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves." You see that? In the land of our captivity, the prophecy states, which we are fulfillment of this prophecy, that we were going to remember ourselves. We were not going to stay upon him that smote us, right? Stay upon this mindset of being a black American, being Hispanic or Latino American, being a Native American. Okay? That's not what the Lord named us, right? As it says in the book of, I believe that's Isaiah, surnamed, oops, Isaiah 45, right? Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4 says, "For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect, I have called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me." See? It is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai that has surnamed us, has called us by our names, right? And those names are what? Israel, okay? Yasharallah, the princes of the power. All right, so going back here now to Deuteronomy, that's what I wanted to get, 7 verse 6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God." And this is Moses speaking on behalf of the Heavenly Father to who? The Israelites. "The Lord thy God, Yahweh thy power, hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people upon the face of the earth." See? So the Lord chose Israel, chose us to be above, right? To be special to him, a special treasure, and to be above all other nations. Okay? All other people on the earth. And that is, first starts off by us remembering who we were, because as it says in the book of Hosea, that we were a no people, but in the land that we were, basically not called the sons of God, there we shall be called the sons of God, roughly paraphrasing. Okay. And this is all, once again, biblical prophecy. And this, as you even see, as I was watching that little clip, I was also thinking about how you got what these Arabs, right? These Palestinians and people that are joined unto them, right? The so-called Muslim nations, they're gathering together on their front, okay, against the Amalekites, right? The JOOs. Yeah, you always want to have the friction between Esau and Jacob that is especially prevalent here in Babylon the Great. But you have nations now are becoming more isolated, right? Their people are drawing more so, to their own people, and a lot of people, okay, are also all coming up against Esau, starting with Amalek, as we see happening all across the four corners of the earth, because they're being exposed as being the wicked. They're being exposed as being the cancer of the earth. All right, but I want to get this here in Isaiah 19, then we'll close it out. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2, it says, "And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." All right, so that is what you want to have, once again, social wars, class wars, race wars, right? You want to have, people going to war over politics, right? Over who they deem they want to be their leader. You have people going to war over lack of resources, as it says in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. You have people being fighting against each other because of differences of ethnicities. All right. There's going to be all out hell is going to be breaking loose in Babylon the Great. And this is just a small piece of an indication of that. All right. And the fact that you got these Edomites out here that are in this type of mindset, while you still got a lot of Jake that are just playing games, thinking shit is just sweet, and they're not hearing the battle, right? They're not hearing the sound of the trumpet. Okay, they're not hearing the sound of the trumpet. And the only way for you Israelites to be protected, for refuge, for deliverance, is by calling upon your power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Because Esau's power is his what? His sword. All right, that is his blessing. His blessing is the sword. You can't try to go against Esau with his blessing. You're going to lose. All right, the Lord he gave us spiritual power, right? That's why scriptures talks about the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. All right. Our defense is in the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is why in Ephesians, it says, what? Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, so that you can withstand the wiles of the devil. Okay, so, I just want to bring this out, Lord willing. This is edifying unto the elect, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Shalom.